Dr. Lana Voss's heart raced as she stood at the edge of the Quantum Nexus platform, the cool metallic surface pulsating beneath her boots. As the foremost expert in quantum physics, she had been granted the rare privilege to explore the mysterious depths of alternate timelines. Yet, nothing in her exhaustive education had prepared her for the chaos she glimpsed when peering into the fractured possibilities of Earth's future. Flickering on the pulsating screens before her was a storyline too grim to ignore. A desolate Earth, its sky choked with ash and despair. A disaster unlike any recorded in human history had descended upon the planet, its origins shrouded in mystery. "This can't be right," Lana murmured, her voice barely audible over the hum of the machinery. "I've checked the calculations twice. How can an entire planet be reduced to this?" Her colleague, Dr. Marco Tennyson, stepped beside her, the cadence of his footsteps punctuated by a heavy sigh. "I've double-checked your work, Lana. It's accurate. Every time we enter this timeline, it's the same destruction." The gravity of the situation settled in, forcing Lana to brace herself against the control panel. The thought of billions lost to an unknown calamity was paralyzing. Yet, she couldn't afford to remain idle. "We need to inform the Council," Lana insisted, determination replacing the initial shock that had gripped her. "Whatever caused this, we have to prevent it." Marco shook his head, doubt clouding his eyes. "Lana, you know how the Council is. They won't act on a mere observation from a single timeline. They'll want concrete evidence." Lana's jaw clenched, aware of the bureaucratic quagmire that stood between them and saving what was left of humanity. But she was no stranger to fighting against overwhelming odds. "Then we'll get that evidence. I'll find a way, Marco. I have to." As she gazed once more into the devastated world spread out before her, a steely resolve ignited within Lana's heart. The stakes had never been higher, and time was running out. The Quantum Council's chamber buzzed with low whispers, a chorus of skepticism that Lana could feel in her bones. Seated around the expansive circular table were the decision-makers of the Quantum Nexus project, sharp minds who were as quick to dissect an argument as they were to dismiss it. "Dr. Voss, we understand your concern," began Counselor Hargrove, her eyeglasses glinting under the sterile lights. "But without empirical evidence, it's difficult to justify allocating resources to an event that might never occur in our timeline." Lana's frustration simmered just beneath her composed exterior. "Counselor Hargrove, the anomalies in this timeline are consistent with universal decay. We're seeing a pattern emerge, one that indicates a point of convergence, a single event that catalyzes the disaster across countless realities." Another counselor, an older man with a skeptical gaze, leaned forward. "And what do you propose, Dr. Voss? You can't possibly expect us to act on a hypothesis." Lana met his gaze unflinching. "I propose a supervised expedition into the alternate timeline. We need to collect data directly and identify the catalyst event, and with your permission, I'll lead the team." Silence stretched across the table, a palpable tension that wrapped around Lana like a vice. Council members exchanged glances, a silent dialogue unfolding around her. After what felt like an eternity, Counselor Hargrove leaned back, a thoughtful expression softening her features. "Very well, Dr. Voss. You have provisional approval. Gather your team, but understand, this is a strictly controlled mission. Any deviation from protocol, and you'll bear the responsibility." Lana nodded, gratitude tempered with resolve. As the meeting adjourned, she sensed the weight of the task ahead. An expedition into the unknown held risks beyond calculation. Yet, every instinct urged her forward, toward unraveling a future marred by unimaginable loss. Later that evening, as Lana stood on the observation deck, Marco joined her once more, his presence a comforting anchor amidst the chaos. "You're taking a big gamble, Lana," Marco remarked, a hint of worry creasing his brow. "Isn't that why we're here?" Lana replied, a hint of a smile forming as she gazed into the shimmering folds of potential realities. To take those leaps into the unknown? Together, they watched the swirling currents of space-time, feeling the pull of destiny beckoning them onward. The deep hum of the Quantum Nexus filled the air as Lana methodically prepared for the incursion. With blueprints spread across the workbench, she traced her finger over the key points of entry where space-time would be most stable. "Coordinates locked," Marco's voice crackled over the intercom, each word dripping with a mix of assurance and anticipation. We're ready for timeline penetration in T-minus 5 minutes. Lana nodded, strapping on the sleek temporal displacement device to her wrist. Its delicate mechanics purred to life, offering a comforting reassurance that the Nexus had weathered more than just theoretical storms. Her nerves coalesced into a singular point of focus as she assembled her team of dedicated scientists, engineers, and temporal operatives. They all understood the gravity of their mission: explore, document, return. "Okay, team," Lana announced, her voice lifting above the rising crescendo of the Nexus's charge cycle. "We've faced theoretical impossibilities together, but today we enter the realm of the unimaginable. The mission is simple: document the timeline, identify the event that triggers its collapse. We have 48 hours. Throughout the room, nods of understanding echoed with the unspoken promise of unity. Her words resonated, igniting a shared determination to confront the cataclysm the world had inadvertently glimpsed. With a final nod to Marco, who stood steadfastly by the control panel, Lana stepped onto the shimmering launch pad at the heart of the Nexus. "See you on the other side," Marco said, just soft enough for her ears alone. Lana smiled, acknowledging his steadfast loyalty. "And I promise to bring back more than just data." As the Nexus pulsed with cosmic energy, the team was enveloped in a cascade of kaleidoscopic lights, the familiar world of 2054 dissolving into an ethereal whirl. They landed awkwardly but intact on the cracked, barren lands of the alternate Earth. The thick air carried the metallic tang of an impending storm, electrifying their senses. Lana's heart filled with both dread and purpose as she surveyed the ashen horizon. "Begin recordings," she instructed, the words barely escaping her mouth before they fell silent, dwarfed by the enormity of the task ahead. The world lay before them, a testament to reality's cruel potential. As they moved forward, gathering the broken fragments of this future, Lana silently vowed to change the course of destiny, no matter the cost. Ashen winds swept across the desolate landscape as Lana's team trudged forward, the weight of the mission pressing against each step. The once vibrant Earth was now a tableau of devastation, every shadow a reminder of what was lost. Lana squinted through the haze, her every breath a commitment to uncovering the catastrophe that spiraled this world into ruin. The answer lay in the decaying cityscape ahead, a metropolis swallowed by silence and haunting echoes. "We're almost at the coordinates," muttered Troy, the team's technical analyst, as he consulted his wrist console. "Radiation levels are spiking, but still within acceptable parameters." Lana nodded, the information more fuel to the relentless drive within her. "Set up base camp in the central plaza. We'll begin with environmental scans, then move on to searching for the catalyst site." The crystalline remnants of skyscrapers loomed around them, casting forlorn shadows over their path as the team navigated the skeletal remains of what was once a thriving hub of civilization. Lana's mind raced as she pieced together clues from the ruins, desperate to uncover the moment when everything changed. A soft beep from her console interrupted her thoughts, indicating an incoming communication. "Dr. Voss, it's Marco. Status check." "We're in the heart of the city now," Lana reported, taking a moment to appreciate the connection back to her own timeline. "Conditions are harsh, but we're moving according to plan." Marco's voice resonated with cautious optimism. "I've been running some simulations based on the data you've transmitted. If you can pinpoint the catalyst event, there's a good chance we can counteract it in our timeline." The implication hung heavily between them, the potential to rewrite history both terrifying and exhilarating. As the team deployed their instruments, a sudden movement caught Lana's eye. She turned sharply, instincts honed from years of research on high alert. Out of the dust emerged a figure, human yet not, garbed in makeshift protection, eyes wide with equal parts fear and hope. This lone survivor, a ghost of this ruined world, might just hold the answers they sought. The tension broke, replaced by the urgency of opportunity. Lana stepped forward, raising a hand in greeting. "We're here to help. We need to understand what happened." The figure hesitated, then nodded slowly, their voice trembling but determined. "You came from across the stars. Then maybe, just maybe, there's still time to save us all." The silence between Lana's team and the enigmatic survivor stretched, punctuated only by the distant rumble of thunder, a reminder of the planet's fragile state. Lana could feel the weight of history pressing against this moment, every decision a potential pivot in the delicate balance of time. "Who are you?" she asked gently, sensing the burden the survivor carried. "My name is Ely," the figure replied, pulling off a makeshift mask to reveal a face etched with hardship but a light with a glimmer of hope. "I've been hiding here since the Pulse. It destroyed everything." "The Pulse?" Lana prompted, her curiosity piqued by the term. Eli nodded, eyes narrowing as he recalled the events that had reshaped his world. It was an energy wave, unlike anything. Started as a ripple, then engulfed everything. Buildings, people, everything crumbled. Lana exchanged a look with Troy, his face mirroring the mix of dread and understanding. "This Pulse," Troy spoke, adjusting his console, "did it have a point of origin?" Eli's gaze drifted to the concrete wilderness around them. There were whispers of a research lab, somewhere deep within the city. Government-funded, top secret. That's where it began. The mention of the lab reverberated through Lana's thoughts, a foundational lead in the sprawling puzzle they faced. "We need to find this lab," she declared, urgency threading through her tone. Eli stepped forward, determination flushing his cheeks. "I can lead you there. I've stayed alive this long by hiding, but knowing I might help, if there's a chance to prevent this, I have to try." The survivors' resolve ignited a shared sense of purpose among the team, their mission now possessing the raw tangibility of human cost. Lana nodded, placing a reassuring hand on Eli's shoulder. "We'll follow your lead." As they began their journey deeper into the ghostly heart of the city, Lana couldn't shake the feeling that this was a crucible moment, not just for Eli, but for all timelines stretching like spiderwebs across the universe. The stakes had never been clearer, nor the path of sacrifice more daunting. Yet, amidst the ruins of a dying world, Lana found they had gained an ally in Eli, one whose knowledge might bridge the chasm between doom and salvation. The rain started as a whisper, gently tapping against the ruins, as Lana's team followed Eli through the labyrinth of crumbled streets. With each step, the shadows of the fallen city loomed larger, their ominous forms a reminder of the precariousness of both past and future. "The lab should be just beyond this sector," Eli said, gesturing to a skeletal structure ahead, its walls barely holding on to the remnants of their past grandeur. They called it the Cradle of Innovation. Lana exchanged looks with her team, each member steeling themselves for the revelations or dangers that awaited within. As they approached the lab, the weight of anticipation turned the air electric. Lana could almost feel the thrum of past energies coursing through the remnants of sophisticated machinery scattered amidst the debris. Eli motioned them forward cautiously, pointing toward a conspicuous entryway that had resisted collapse. "This corridor, Isolation Lab, is through here," he noted, his voice tempered with the caution drawn from a survivor's instincts. Reaching the heart of the facility, Lana paused, scanning the room lined with dormant consoles and shattered displays, all testifying to a catastrophic failure. An overwhelming sense of urgency gripped her. This was where the Pulse began. Suddenly, a flicker of life sparked on a nearby console. With Eli's knowledge and Troy's technical acumen, they coaxed the system into resurrecting itself. Troy squinted at the screen, decoding the cryptic lines of data scrolling past. "Looks like they were conducting experiments with quantum destabilization. If this project is what I think it was an incredibly risky venture, breaking down and rebuilding matter as they saw fit." "The Pulse," Lana mumbled, realization dawning with chilling clarity. It wasn't just an accident. It was a chain reaction unleashed from a singularity event at its core. Her eyes met Eli's, the weight of unsaid words passing between them. If this catastrophe was born from reckless ambition, then its prevention hinged on untangling layers of secrecy, buried beneath greed and unchecked curiosity. "We need detailed records to make any alterations to our timeline," Lana pressed on. "We can't just shut it down. We need to understand it." Eli's face filled with determination, a spark of tenacity igniting anew. "The deeper archives are in the lab's sublevel where the real experiments were conducted. It's dangerous, but that's where your answers lie." With the stakes transcending singular existence, Lana realized each of them held the power to radically alter all primes of possibility. And so the team descended deeper into the shadows where the past's secrets awaited, poised to unlock or forever seal the doors to universal salvation. The narrow stairway descended into darkness, the cold air growing denser with every step Lana's team took. The sublevel, shrouded in secrecy and shadow, held the potential key to understanding and reversing the disaster that had reduced this alternative Earth to ruins. Eli led the way, his movements guided by instinct and past traumas that sharpened his focus. The corridor stretched out before them, walls lined with conduit and fractured panels that sparked intermittently. "Here," Eli whispered, halting before a heavy, reinforced door. "Beyond this lies what they called the core, where the primary experiments were run." Troy set to work on the control panel, his deft fingers coaxing life back into the mechanism with a practiced ease. After a tense moment, the door groaned open, unveiling the heart of the abyss. The lab was a vast chamber filled with silenced machines, strange apparatuses looming like spectral guardians over recording stations. At its center was a containment field, now dormant, surrounded by massive generators that hummed a residual, ominous melody. Lana moved to one of the consoles, drawing on her extensive knowledge to access encrypted files. As data began to feed into their systems, she and Troy worked in tandem to decrypt caches of forbidden research and potential variants of their own future's demise. "This is it," Troy breathed, awe and dread mingling in his voice. They weren't just trying to manipulate space-time. They were deploying theoretical constructs in real contexts, trials never meant for actualization. Eli nodded, his eyes darkened by the shadows of his memories. They believed they could wield the unthinkable, revert errors at will. Instead, they expanded them until equilibrium snapped. As files flickered across the screens, Lana came across entries, logs detailing the moments before the pulse, insights that sparked both horror and understanding. If we isolate the causal node, the event, triggered by these logs, we can initiate program stabilizers from our timeline. The silent realization hit them, truth of their task far graver than imagined. Their actions would decide not just the tale of Eli's world, but the fate of every potential Earth. Lana turned to her assembled team, resolve echoing in her words. "We have the data. Now we must orchestrate the counterwave, cancel the pulse before its inception. But it means activating the stabilizer from here." Eli stepped forward, embracing the bitter confines of his destiny. "I'm staying," he stated softly but firmly. "I'll ensure it's triggered. This is my world still. It deserves a chance, whatever the cost." The weight of sacrifice hung in the air as they prepared for cohesion across timelines. Lana nodded, accepting the bravery in Eli's choice, bound by the solemn promise to carry his spirit into her timeline's survival. And thus, the time to influence and stave off the cosmic event lay tantalizingly close, echoing through the silent halls, the final countdown to destiny. As the countdown loomed in digital glyphs across the monitor, the magnitude of their task reverberated through the lab. Eli's decision to stay behind had galvanized the team, steeling their resolve to succeed against nearly impossible odds. Lana's fingers danced over the controls, programming the stabilizers to initiate a cascade effect, one that would ripple through the fabric of timelines, anchoring the stability of matter at its most volatile point. "The stabilizer program is configured," Troy confirmed, a tremor of tension threading through his voice. "But once it's activated, there won't be a return portal for Eli. It'll shut the Nexus network from this end." Eli nodded, a resolute calm on his face. "It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. If it means my world remains somewhere, anywhere, then it's worth every moment of existence here." Lana met his gaze, the silent acknowledgement of his unsung heroism, a potent reminder of what was at stake. "Your bravery won't be forgotten, Eli. Your world will hold its place." Eli shifted his attention to the control hub, focusing his energy on the role he had chosen. Meanwhile, Lana coordinated with Troy, the pair immersing themselves in fine-tuning the complex cascade logic that would hopefully synchronize the temporal waves, redirect them. "Initiate in T-minus 30 seconds. Marco's voice crackled over their communicators from the original timeline, urgency lacing his meticulously measured tone, ready to capture the stabilization sequence. In the heart of the lab, the generators began to pulse differently, a deep, rhythmic energy that pulsed through the room. Lana's heart pounded in unison, an insistent reminder of the staggering hope attached to their every move. Moments later, as the residual hum intensified toward a relentless crescendo, Eli positioned himself near the manual override. I'd almost forgotten the sound of hope, he remarked wistfully, fingertips hovering over the activation console. The countdown reached its terminal phase, a symphony of synchronicity that blended courage, sacrifice, and science into a cataclysmic crescendo. With a final gesture, Eli pressed the command, triggering the stabilizers. A burst of pure light enveloped the chamber, cascading through circuits, conduits, and the very core of reality. Lana's breath caught, a testament to the wonder unveiled before her eyes. A kaleidoscope of timelines realigning from chaos to harmony. Battling the gravitational pull of the Nexus, Lana and her team retreated from the sublevel, their forms dissipating as space-time enveloped them back to their origin. In the resounding silence that followed, Eli smiled serenely amid the dissolving future, knowing their collective ambition had once been enough to reshape fate's tapestry. With the lab fading into oblivion, Lana glimpsed, through the timeline's veil, the spark of continuity they had ignited, a light that dared to nurture rebirth amid cosmic upheaval. And so they returned, to tell Eli's silent story and to witness what their mission had ultimately forged. The return to their original timeline was anything but subtle. Lana and her team found themselves back on the Quantum Nexus platform, their senses grappling to adjust as the familiar scenery swirled into focus. The cacophony of alarms faded into the low hum of systems recalibrating to their presence. Marco was waiting, a mixture of relief and urgency painting his features as he approached the group. "You're back," Marco affirmed, his voice an anchor in the whirlwind of readjustment. "Did you?" "Yes," Lana interrupted, her exhaustion mingling with a fervent intensity. "We've initiated the stabilizers. Eli triggered the cascade to prevent the pulse across timelines. We've realigned." Marco's expression shifted to one of cautious optimism. "Data confirmation?" Troy nodded, already examining his console. "The feedback loop shows positive stabilization markers. We're seeing the pulse's signature weakening. Time frames are aligning more cohesively than before." The room let out a collective breath, a release of hope amongst the racing currents of epochs balanced on a precipice. Lana let her gaze drift towards the Nexus monitors, each displaying a kaleidoscope of potential realities, now recalibrating with each passing second. Every flicker a testament to Eli's courage and the shared vision of betterment beyond the mere grasp of their present. "We owe this to him," Lana said softly, a hint of loss shadowing her triumph. Eli's actions granted his timeline, and countless others, a chance to exist in harmony. Marco placed a steadying hand on her shoulder. "And you must tell his story, Lana. It's a chronicle of perseverance and selflessness. Your mission solidified the foundation of that hope." As system diagnostics finalized, the team huddled around the central control panel, eager and apprehensive to confirm the changes their voyage had set in motion. Time seemed to stretch as figures solidified on the displays. Global metrics of stability rose, wave distortions minimized, and the catalog of potentialities aligned toward equilibrium. Lana scanned the data, her heart swelling with quiet satisfaction. Though the link to Eli's world had now closed, its essence would resonate eternally across the peoples and lives that shared its legacy. The Nexus stood as a monument to human curiosity, bridging what was once seen as impossible with new hope. As Lana and her team began the rigorous task of ensuring their discoveries would be used wisely, each carried the weight and the light of a transformed future. "This is just the beginning," Lana remarked, her voice steady yet filled with promise. And so, as Earth's timeline settled into its newly forged path, the seeds of Eli's sacrifice, and Lana's relentless drive bloomed, ready to nurture a world keen on understanding and preserving the lessons of a universe both grand and fragile. Time wore on in the Quantum Nexus facility, yet the atmosphere remained vibrant with the quiet hum of renewed possibilities, an undercurrent of optimism born from actions that had resonated across universes. Lana Voss, now a guardian of countless timelines, stood by a panoramic window, her gaze lost in the infinite dance of temporal currents. The resolution of their mission had brought changes, subtle yet profound, to the trajectories of human advancement. Earth's future appeared woven with new threads of collaboration, born from the lessons of averted disaster, guiding civilization toward a path of sustainable brilliance. Lana turned at the sound of approaching footsteps, a soft smile meeting Marco's reciprocal expression as he joined her. How are things looking from our vantage point? Marco inquired, peering out beside her into the energetic, rippling patterns of time itself. Stable, Lana replied, a sense of fulfillment in her voice. The changes we've seeded are taking root. The world's shifted focus from reckless progress to responsible innovation. Marco nodded thoughtfully. I've been reviewing our latest data projections. It seems the interconnectedness we fostered is having a ripple effect. More collaborative efforts on sustainable tech, and we're even seeing a decline in global tensions. Lana's heart swelled with gratitude and pride, not only for her team but for Eli's enduring impact on their timeline. Eli's story is one we're sharing across our educational channels, grounding the drive for ethical exploration. It's inspiring scientists, reminding us all of our power and responsibility as custodians of knowledge. Their conversation was interrupted by Troy, who entered with a device in hand, a glint of excitement in his eyes. "We've got a sealed message," he said, handing it over to Lana. "From a stabilization echo, it's overlapping recognition between the timelines." Lana carefully activated the device, revealing a holographic recording of Eli. His image shimmered into being, a digital specter bridging worlds. "If you're seeing this," Eli's voice echoed with the kind warmth she remembered, "then our plan succeeded. My world and others have a chance now. Remember, the strength of many lies in unity and awareness. Let that light guide you all." His head bowed in a final gesture of hope. The message faded, leaving Lana and her companions in contemplative silence, a chorus of purpose vibrations only they could feel. With renewed resolve, Lana faced her team in the coming days, instigating projects that honored that enduring alliance, scientific endeavors fueled by insight and integrity. As the Nexus continued to reveal its secrets, as time unfurled in its steady course, humanity stood poised on the precipice of boundless potential, ready to embrace the vast web of their interwoven futures. The Quantum Nexus didn't fade into obscurity, but became a beacon of progress, a testament to the collaboration, courage, and sacrifices that kept Earth's myriad histories thriving. For Lana and those who dared to take that quantum leap, the adventure had only begun, guided by the pulsing heart of every timeline they'd touched.